if individuals would get better, then gradually everyone would get better and society would get better. So just keep working on your therapy and your self-development and your spiritual whatever, and we will have a better society. There was a book published at the time, written by a guy called James Hillman. He had a magnificent long book title. It was called, "We've had 100 years of psychotherapy and the world is getting worse." So I decided, as I was disillusioned with the psychos, to leave the psycho tribe. And I wandered over to the other side of the aisle, to the managers, the economists, the Norwegian Business School. And gradually I started to work with executives and students, of course, also teaching and learning how to develop more bold future thinking, using stories about the future to reimagine the way we take decisions today. And then, working with a lot of economists, I got very, very curious, actually, about how economists were seeing the world. So I started studying deeply into economics. I read all the textbooks. I got to learn the forefathers, the ancestors, like Samuelson. Hello, Samuelson. And the answer he gave was not satisfactory to me. So my suspicion grew that gradually, that in economics, there is a basic, unexamined idea or assumption about what money is that they haven't really looked into. And that's kind of funny. If psychos don't have a real understanding of what the soul is can it be the case that economics doesn't have a real understanding of what money is? And might it be because they haven't really coupled psychology and economics? And based on this experience, I wrote this book, Money and Soul. But now, I'm going to turn this over to you. What is money? And if you have something to write with, and if you don't, make a mental note to yourself, come up with 2 or 3 ideas, images, definitions, if you want. What is money to you? If I asked you, what is money? What do you reply? 2 or 3 minutes. I will not say anything. Okay. This question gets more and more interesting the more you look at it. There's an American artist who is called Boggs, and he made this because he went to a restaurant one day and he recognized he forgot his wallet. So what did he do? He took a piece of paper, and being an artist, he drew this, a $10 bill. But it's just not really $10, it's $10, right? And it's quite fun. In fun we trust. And then he took out this piece of paper and said, "Can I pay with this?" And the waiter said, "I have to go and ask my boss." Whereupon the waiter went to his boss, her boss, and asked, "Will we accept this as a payment?" And the boss looked at it, and he actually liked it. And he said, "Yes, and give him change." Eventually, this guy, the artist, started to play a whole lot with money. What is the border? When is something money, and when is it not money? So I have something here. A $5 bill. Is this money? Piece of paper? Yeah? Maybe? Yeah? Is it money now? Where did the money go? Or is it still here? So, the main definition in economics is this. if you ask any economist, and they've read their textbooks, because on page 5, in the beginning of 800 Samuelson's basic economic textbooks, it says, money is the means of exchange. Done. And all the magic is gone from money. That's the conventional view. But luckily, we have now maybe, how many of you? 100 people here? And if each of you have 3, we have 300 more interesting definitions of money. And now I want you to dip a little bit into that. So what is your attitude to money? Is it that running after money leads you astray? So the best thing is to have as little money as possible. The more you're involved with money, the less soul. You lose your soul to money. That's one attitude. Another is indifference. Oh, well, money, boring, boring. I mean, I would never work with any occupation where I have to work with money. It's so boring. Accounting and banking and finance. I mean, it doesn't give any meaning. No way to discover a deeper life in money. Is that your attitude? Or is it reform? Now, money creates lots of inequalities, injustice. What we do is we need to battle money. We must battle finance. We must win over the economics people, because they are destroying the earth, and it's obvious even to children. Or is it the other way? More is better. Can't have too much. If you have more money, you can do more good. The more money you have, the more good you can do. Finally, embrace it, because money are genuine expressions of soul. Psychologists should ask their patients about their relationship to money. Because in your money life, you find your soul. So, in economics, this work is focused on reimagining money. How can we get a quicker pace of change within the economy through reimagining how money works and what it is? That is my ambition. That's what I work for. That's why I wrote this book. That's why I'm at Norwegian Business School. So, but the rock bottom of economic theory, you find this money triad, where they say money is a means of exchange, money is a unit of account, and a store of value. And after page 5 in the economic textbooks, they don't question these premises anymore. They don't say, are these definitions good? They don't discuss that. It's axioms in economics. They don't ask, are they sufficient? Or they don't ask, what would happen if we expand the definition of what money is? And how money changes our mind, how money messes with our mind. So what I did was to turn this triad on its head, to do what would it look like from psychology point of view. So in my book, I work through 3 expansions of money. First, I would say money is a social relation. If we start from that metaphor, money is a social relation. Then suddenly, money starts to take on new qualities. What does this actually mean, that money is a social relation? It means that each time somebody does a transaction, one becomes a buyer and the other becomes a seller. So the relationship is created, actually, by money. Also, on a more fundamental level, money as such is created not by the national bank. It's not the Fed who makes money. That's an illusion. Money is made each time one of you take out a loan or set up a credit. And what is a credit? It's I owe you. And if there ever was a social relationship, an I owe you is a relationship. So you now have a relation between the lender and the bank, or the borrower. Thank you. Second, I'd like to speak more about that, but I'm looking at the time. Attention. Money is a technology for controlling attention. That happens in the minute you put the price tag on something. How much does this house cost? How much does this course cost? How much does this newsletter cost? Is it very good? Then you have a high price. Now, and then money works in a way through price mechanism to direct our thoughts into making something worthy of attention and others not worthy of attention. So one simple experiment done by a hero in economics, Daniel Kahneman, brought out this very clearly. He asked 100 students to come and taste beer. not difficult to recruit students. There were 2 glasses of beer. One had a little price tag saying, let's say, $20. The other had a little price tag saying $3. They were then asked, which beer is the best? He didn't say anything about the price tag. But consistently, the one with $20 was evaluated as the best, right? Not surprisingly. Then he took another 100 students. As I said, it was not difficult. He had a queue. And switched the price tag. Now the other one was significantly better. So the price tag made, and they also described it. It was sparkling, it was earthy, it had kind of deep resonance to it. So they come up with all creative ways of describing this beautiful beer that used to cost $3, but now was $20. So price shapes our attention, and particularly in a market democracy. So then money becomes a technology for controlling people's attention, right? And this way of looking at money is just completely absent from economics. It shouldn't be. There is a little bit in market economics, but not much. Finally, imagination. Money is imagination. What does that mean? Well, the reason why there is value in money is that I imagine something that I want. The imagination of want, and then I feel, if I only had that money, then I could do this, I could go there, I could buy that, I could get this, I could relax, I could get rid of my burdens, whatever. When I imagine what I would do if I had money, that imagination, those images come alive. And because of those images of what I want, what the desires or my dreams, those become the reason why there is trust in money. That if I only had that money, then I could do there, I could go there, I could do this. The money would help me achieve that dream. If people stopped dreaming, if people stopped having desires, then money would no longer carry that psychic energy. And the minute money stopped carrying that psychic energy, the value of money would disappear. So when I pull this dollar apart, this paper is nothing. The value is in the projection or the longing or the image you have of what this money could do. That is where money is. So money lives inside human psyches, inside the soul. It doesn't live in paper or in digits in the bank. Then what happens if price or money is used as the measure of all value? And this is where we get to the green economics at the very last 2 minutes. Oh, 5, okay, thank you. That if and when money becomes a technology for shaping our attention, defining our relationships and what we dream about, then what happens to those things that have zero or no money attached to it? Well, in a market-based society, in an organization based on money accounting, these things become invisible. They are kind of conjured away, like magic. So suddenly, clean air has zero value. The water that comes from a stream or a tap has zero value, but the water in a bottle has value. Suddenly, you get a whole shift in society's attention towards those things that have a price tag to it, and those things that don't disappear. And that is why, as I see it, the monotheism of money is the basic problem of economics. We only imagine those things that have a value on them in money terms. And that is why, too, that the natural capital easily slips out of our attention, and also we have a deteriorating social capital. Now, how to solve this? Some people try by putting a price tag on nature, but that evokes a lot of skepticism. And I agree, because if we collapse natural wonders or natural resources or natural trees and birds, whatever, to a money price tag, just as we put on a McDonald's burger or a pair of shoes, then something very reductionistic happens. However, maybe we should reimagine money from being a monotheistic concept, money, to plural, a polytheistic one, monies. So we need probably maybe to bring into existence new forms of money that help us make these kinds of value visible. So we can expand our narrow talk of value to more polytheistic or plural dimensions of value. To me, that's the rock bottom of what a therapy of the economic mind means. Reimagining money, both in the terms of the images that is in the money we use, but also in the way money connects to other types of value, and how we could become more clever or more thoughtful when it comes to the way we account for value in our society, and expanding that occasion. And we see forms today, like with Bitcoin, but why should they have the only creative way of doing it? Why don't we use it for more constructive means than just cryptocurrency and those that would avoid taxation? So, conclusion, more than just means of exchange, we should recognize money as relations, as attention, and imagination. Finally, money can become a monotheism of value unless it's reconnected to imagination. And then we need to reimagine money and the capitals. Non-market capitals may need complementary units of account with integrated reporting, a broader accounting to connect money to wider values. Thank you.